Hey watch fans, Brad from Brent Miller Jewelers. And today I have for us two Omega Aqua Terra models, both 41 millimeters. On my left is the small seconds model, and on my right is the date only model. I think both fantastic, and happen to have both of them in blue on the rubber straps, and thought we would do, or I would do just a real quick comparison and ask you, are you coming around on the small seconds, or do you still prefer it with just the date window down here at 6? So again, both 41 millimeter models. I measured these nearly identical at every spec except for one, which I'll get to here in a second. 40.9 is what I measured above the crown diagonally across the case on both. 40.2 is what I measured across the polished bezel. So you can see the bezel does sit a little bit on top of that case, so slightly smaller than the 40.9 case. And then 34.5 millimeters across the crystal. Again, both same size crystals from 3 to the 9. Where I did have a slight difference is the small seconds I measured at 47.7 lug tip to lug tip. And again, maybe it's user error, maybe my calipers, I have no idea. I measured it 4 or 5 times to make sure. The non-small seconds here, just the Aqua Terra, I measured at 47.1, so about a ½ millimeter shorter lug tip to lug tip. Visually looking at them, I think they look the same. Again, we're talking about ½ millimeter, but I wanted to point out both of them measured 13.4 millimeters thick. Both have 20 millimeter lug widths, tapering down to 18 at the deployant clasps. Both of them exhibition case backs. On the small seconds here, you have the caliber 8916 Omega in-house movement, 60 hours of power reserve. 8916 is going to give you the small seconds, whereas the regular one here is just the caliber 8900. Again, the same 60 hours of power reserve, just without the small seconds application. I'm sorry, complication, not application. And other than that, again, very similar. Both signed screw-down crowns, 150 meters of water resistance. I didn't weigh them. The small seconds was just slightly heavier, 110.9 grams versus 108.4 grams on the model here on my right. Both of them date windows at the 6 o'clock position. 6,300 is the small seconds retail. $600 less at $5,700 for this model here. So $600 difference for the small seconds. Again, is where they're priced. So aesthetically, I think obviously here the same markers, same hands. I think they both look great. I really like this shade of blue on the seconds hand on this model specifically, as well as your 15, 30, 45, 60 markers there. I think that blue just looks really good against that slate kind of gray dial. Again, I do really like the small seconds. I've come around on it since release. When it was initially released, wasn't a huge fan of it, but the more I see these, the more I like them. I don't think they get talked about very often, which is why I grabbed them today. I happen to see them both sitting in our case. However, for me and this model specifically, I'm going with that blue seconds hand. I think I've had this in prior Aqua Terra videos. It's just, I like that shade of blue. It's enough said for me. However, I really do like the small seconds. This may not be the specific model for me. We have one with the kind of cream dial strap that I really like. But for today's video, thought I would get the similar colors for you on these straps. So let me know what you think. I'll throw these both on wrist here real quick. How do you feel about the small seconds? And between these two, which one would you take home with you? So again, I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist. Admittedly, I do like the 38s, probably slightly better on my wrist, but I can absolutely wear both of these. I try to stay anything under 48, definitely under 50 for me, lug tip to lug tip. Really, my preference is in that 44 to 46, but you know, could I wear this? Absolutely, no problem at all. Again, just really, I think the Aqua Terras are great, go anywhere, do anything watches, and these rubber straps are really comfortable as well. However, I will tell you, if you do want one on bracelet, these rubber straps, these end links are not cheap. This is one of the more expensive rubber strap setups. You're looking at a little over $700 retail for the rubber strap, the deployant clasp, and the metal end links. So I'll hit the lights quick, give you a quick loom shot. As always, greatly appreciate you viewing. If there's anything I can do for you, shoot me an email, brad@brentlmiller.com. Happy to report we do have a little bit of loom here on our small seconds hand. And so I do like that application. But other than that, thanks for viewing, and we'll see you in the next video.